Okay, this is a project that my daughter's been bugging me about for a little while. She remembers playing in it as a child. Basically, it's a sprinkler that you put. I'm going to assemble it here in a minute, but just to show you how basically the mock-up for what it's going to look like before I glue it. Oops, yeah, that's correct. It basically is a real simple sprinkler to be able to water the grass, but also to allow your kids to be able to play in it. Now this end right here, the piece that comes off here, can be of any length that you want it. You can even extend this out, say 10 or so feet back the other way, and put another sprinkler before attaching the hose section. But this is one that runs off the hose that is basically it's intended for a garden sprinkler, but as I said, my daughter has fond memories of playing in one of these as a child. And these are the dry fitted fittings right here, just like this. And then Teflon this guy. So Teflon also, if you hold it in your left hand, you grab it with your left thumb and you wrap over the top as you're pulling in. Pull it, squeeze it in, and then you can see it's really pushed down inside those grooves, and it's also on the correct direction so that when you spin it on, it's not going to come off. Well, if you put it on the wrong direction, when spinning this fitting on, it will allow the Teflon or the Teflon will basically just slide right off. And I also make sure that I push it into the threads and I pull it in as I'm going, but then thread that on. And then you install one of these brush adapters. So this is called a shrub adapter for this particular brand. It really just depends on, maybe that won't cut it. Depends on the brand and what they want to call them. I've always called them brush adapters. These are shrub adapters. Anyway, what that does is it allows you to put your nozzle on the top of any type of nozzle that you want, whether it be like I have here, an MP rotator. This one's a square nozzle. It just happens to be what I had with me, but you can put any nozzle that you want on the top that will go on a spray head. So this one, it creates a square pattern that only shoots 15 feet out. So inside of a garden, that is really helpful to be able to get just a strip. Now you can also put a regular like 15-foot nozzle on there. There's there's a ton of different ones in all different sizes, clear down to from 2 feet all the way up to like 35 feet, depending on what kind of rotators that you get. That way you can make this versatile for whatever you need. It can be set at the edge of the grass, have a part circle that shoots inwards or whichever direction that you need, and you're able to run, move this multiple different places and get an efficient watering system. Again, for my daughter, the reason that she liked it is she could go play with it, and this being a flexible fitting, it wasn't something that she was going to break. Now I will go ahead and assemble it and glue it together. Okay, really quick actually gluing tip on this. Since this is a low pressure sprinkler, it is pressurized, but it only should be running at 30 psi anyway. I'm only going to use this Christie's Red Hot. It's a little gelled. I wouldn't use this on a sprinkler system, but for this setting it will be just fine, because this is only for demonstration purposes. But oh my gosh, that is gelled. Nope, I'm gonna go get some different glue. Okay, I went and got some different glue and primer. By the way, pro tip, this is the primer, this is the glue. This has gotten wet, this is why the label's coming off, but use tape to tape these together so that they can stay upright better when you're working alongside in dirt areas, because if you get the single can, it has a tendency to tip. Both of them together, much less likely to tip. So this is something that whenever I'm doing installations, I'll tape two cans together so that I can set it down and be be much more confident that it's not going to just fall over. I just got a piece of plastic to be able to, so I can glue this up, but I cut off that piece that had the really nasty goober on it from the really bad glue. The reason I put this plastic down is to get less of this on my workbench here, because this is a little greenhouse that I have here. Anyway, pretty simple glue and primer. It's really hot today, so I have to be quick about this. If you're too slow, it's not the glue. Actually, I'm going to twist that because I want that on the bottom. So if you're really slow about it, basically glue is going to set up before you get it pushed all the way together. So you want to be fairly quick when you're putting this together. Another thing too, you don't have to twist when you're putting it together. Yes, you can twist. Some cans say twist, some cans don't. I typically don't twist on smaller pipe. Actually, I don't typically twist ever anyway, unless I have a misalignment. But yes, you can twist it. That is an old labeling, or basically the original cans used to all say it. Now every brand says twist. So I don't always twist. When I took a class on PVC welding, basically they said push it together, only twist if you have to. As long as you're getting enough PVC cement on there and it's even, then you're going to get a better bond if you don't twist, is what I was being taught. Preference here, I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of people that are those that actually watch the full video are going to say always twist, always twist. Well, you know what, that's up to you. I don't. So again, I'm going to speed this video up now that I've made it that far and had this explanation. Okay, now you can see the reason I hate using primer is even though I was being cautious to make sure that all the drips stayed on the bottom, I still got the goober all over from the primer. Absolutely hate when it does that. It just doesn't look professional. It'll still hold. This is not going to affect it because it was just a small amount. Now bathing it in primer can weaken your pipe, but that small amount is very minimal. It's not going to be an issue. Now, lining this up, this is where you would do the twist. So, hold it down so that you can see which direction is going to be up, which will be, you might not look straight through the camera, but on this, that is as straight as it looks. Well, not straight, but the right angle on that, it looks really good to me from this point of view. So, I'm just holding it long enough for it to dry, which it has. This fitting that I put on, this is a one that you can hook up the hose to. It has a little seal in there. Just twist it right onto the end of the hose. With this having, so the T, here's the sprinkler head, then another T. This is here for stability, and then caps, whoops, and then caps on the end, so here and there, so that the whole thing can sit on the ground just like that. When you turn it on, after you hook up a hose and you turn it on, then it can run either to water plants or to allow your kids to run through the sprinklers and play, like my daughter was saying. That was one of her favorite pastimes as a child, and wanted me to make a video on how to make this little sprinkler. Well, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.